Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasudrisham Tattvamasya Ekam Nityam Vipulamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Satgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam Ganeshwaraya.
Nithyananda.
Yeah, Nithyanandam Jayanti. Yeah, I can see everyone. Shall we start or we'll wait for some more time? Nithyanandam Jayanti. We'll wait. Nithyanandam. Ganeshwaraya, should we wait for a couple more minutes or we can start? I think we'll wait for 2 more minutes and then we'll start. Great. Yeah. Okay. So first thing is very important thing, and right now you don't need to draw. You just observe and just understand what I'm trying to explain here. Okay. So it's important not to jump into the direct drawing and draw the construction lines. Okay. Always you will see I will approach any of the thing with the construction lines in the beginning. Okay. So once you are trying to learn some new object or new shape, it is always good to start with the construction lines. Okay, so for eye, last time we drew a construction like line something like this, and then we drew another line here and we drew a line here. Okay, so these were the construction lines to make the boundary of the eye. Okay, next up what we did was we created some kind of a curve here, and then we joined these lines with curve. So we created another curve here, and then we created another curve to join this line here, right? And then we created some kind of a eyeball here, like it was a full circle, but we did not draw fully dark. Okay, and then we drew something like this. Okay, and next up we again created another top line for the eye. Okay, so now from most of the drawings what I saw was that first thing, this shape itself is little bit not smooth. Okay, so first thing is you practice only this much, and whenever, so I have sent a lot of eyes now in the WhatsApp group. Just observe the picture and try to create these construction lines. Okay, so say if you see some random eye, just try to draw a bounding box for it, so that you get to know like how to bring the shapes. Okay, that is number one. Number two, I saw that the shades are like all even. Okay, so if many have like just done completely gray in the full eye. Okay, so that will not give a 3D effect to the eye. So what you need to do is first say once you construct a pupil and have the space for a light. Okay, first go light, don't go very dark in the beginning. Okay, so say for example I am just creating a light shade across the whole pupil. Okay, I'm creating a very light shade here. Okay, and then eventually I am building up the darker values. So once the light has come, I will go maximum dark in the pupil. Okay, and then try to create gradients here. So once you create gradients, right, it will bring a 3D effect to the eye, because what will happen is there will be areas of eye next to the pupil where the light is falling. Okay, and then there will be areas which are in shadow, so they will be very dark, like the edge of the eye. Okay, so then go dark and try to create gradients from here. So that was the second thing which I observed. And third thing was the eyelashes. That was like not many were getting it right. So eyelashes is you can practice separately. Okay, so you create something like this, a curve like this, and you try to go make tick marks. Okay, I told the other day also, you can practice this stroke. Okay, right now don't draw, right now just look into what I'm explaining, and then because this you can practice separately also. Okay, so make these kind of strokes more and more. Okay, so once you do this, it will be good, because Liz, if you notice, once you were drawing, what you did was you created a eyebrow like this, which was good, and then you created many straight lines here. Okay, so this will not give a good effect, and there were like many straight lines. Okay, this will not give a good effect. Okay, so you have to always go in a curve for the eyelashes. Okay, so if you start from here, and if they are crossing the line also, don't worry. If they are crossing this your eyelid line, don't worry. And this eyelashes, the more pointed pencil you will use, the better effect it will give, because the hairs are very thin, right? So if we don't want them to be very thick. Okay, so this, the more pointed they are, it will give a good effect to your eyelashes. Okay, and here you can draw another like small line below it. Okay, and then draw eyelashes on this line, because this portion of the eye is little what curved out. Okay, and here the eyelashes are small, they are not very big. Okay, so that is another thing which I saw. And then the eyebrows. Okay, so eyebrows always follow the direction of the hair. So say there are few hairs going here, then few hairs going in this direction, right? So always follow the direction of the hair and make as thin lines as possible. Okay, you can always also use something like this lead pencil. Okay, which is like this, and then you use very thin strokes. Okay, for me I think it's lead. I will use something like this. Yeah. Okay, so follow the direction of the hairs, and here the hair turn, right? At this point the hair turns, so come down then. Okay, something like this, and you can go over it again like 2-3 layers, so automatically it will become thick. Okay, so you don't need to create something again. For eyebrows I saw many people did it like this, so they created something like these kind of strokes along the line, which is not correct, right? It will not give a good effect. Okay, and finally the eyeball, so you can like lightly shade it so that it becomes a 3D. So this portion is getting the light and the edges are getting the dark. But if you again in this also, what I saw was people went very dark here, right? So if you make it very dark, this color, this black and this black are not same, right? This is a lighter black, this is a very dark black, so this distinction has to be there. So this has to be very dark. Okay, and then eventually you will have a shadow falling here, and these are going to be very light. Okay, in fact you can use eraser also to make it like more lighter, or a blender to make it more lighter. Yeah, so it will give a 3D effect. And then eventually we drew something like uh, a light falling here, and then did some shading. So those things are okay. I mean, those things you can pick later also. Once more and more you will do portraits and more faces and objects you will draw, you can get better at drawing these shades. So these are okay. But eyelashes, the basic shape of the eye and where to put dark and light, those things are important. Okay, I hope it is clear. If anyone has any questions in respect to drawing the eyes, then you can ask now, or else you can also practice during the week and put your questions in the WhatsApp group, and I will answer them there. Maguvar, is it clear now? Okay. Okay, I'll take that as no questions. So we will move to our next drawing. I'll try to draw it below. I hope it is visible. Okay. So today we are going to do a nose. So now you can draw along with me, and I will give time to each one of you to draw whatever I am drawing. Okay. So as a first step for the nose, we'll again create the basic structure. We'll construct the basic structure of the nose. So as a first step, draw a circle. Draw a small circle. Very light, okay? Just notice how light I am drawing. I'm not drawing dark right now. Okay, draw a very light circle. The next step is to draw a smaller circle. So somewhere from this height, okay, you can draw a circle which is intersecting the circle. So something like this. Okay, so now there is a smaller circle and a bigger circle. Smaller circle is intersecting the bigger circle. Yeah. Next step is to create another smaller circle of similar size on the other side. Okay. So for drawing the circles, you notice I don't, draw dark in the first time. Okay. So I go very light, and then 2-3 times I try to get the shape here, and then I make the dark lines so that I get the circle easily. Okay. Give me a thumbs up once you're done. Okay. Great. Great. Okay. So next up is draw from somewhat here on the top. Okay, maybe what you can also do is you can draw a very light center line so that you have an idea of how the nose is symmetric. So you can draw a very small center line. If you want, you can use a scale also for this. Draw a very light center line. Don't make it very dark, so that you can draw symmetrically on both the sides. Either with scale or with freehand, draw a line. Okay. Then around this line, very lightly draw a slightly curved line. Okay. This is slightly curved line on both the sides. It's not exactly straight, but not very curved also, slightly curved line. Okay. So this is a basic construction of the nose. So if you touch your nose, there will be a nose ball on the top, right? And then there are nostrils on both the sides, which are also round. So these balls, if you move it in any direction, they will try to create the basic structure of the nose. Okay. So now, once you are done till here, give me a thumbs up. Yeah. Okay. Great. So next up, we'll draw the boundaries of this. Okay, so just notice I'm making the below portion of the nose little darker, and here on there's a trough here, there's a wedge kind of thing here I am creating little dark shade. Okay, and then again going here lightly and again creating dark shade here. Okay, and then going around it. I'm not making the insides of the circle dark, I'm only making the outsides of the circle dark. Okay, the next, with the side of the pencil. Okay, so if you can see, I have the pencil with a long lid. With the side of the pencil, you can go from this first the first line on the left side, the curved line which we created, you can create very light shades. Okay, I hope they are visible on the camera. I'm creating very light shades. Don't go too dark here, okay? Otherwise it will look bad. Same on the other side. Make very light shades, slightly downward strokes, something like this. Okay, notice that these are very dark because these are nostrils which are uh, casting a shadow here, and the other one are light because they are in light. Just give me 1 minute, please. Okay, so next, go very light on the sides of the nostrils. So here, just you can go in very light circular motions also. Okay, something like this. Just small circles, but very light. So they should not look like clean circles. So once you go this kind of strokes, it should overall look like a patch. Okay, so for smaller areas, you can use this technique also. So make little light here, and then the sphere. This ball is like a sphere, so it's turning down. So you will have shadow on this portion of the nose. Okay. So this portion of the nose will have shadow, and be, behind this sphere also there will be some shadow. Okay, so behind here also you can create some sort of shadow, and here some shadow. Okay, and same on the right nostril. Okay, so with eraser you can try to erase the two lines which are visible here for the circle. Okay, you can use any of the erasers. I talked about different erasers in the last class. So we have pencil erasers or the edge of the eraser. Just try to erase the two lines. Okay. Okay. And then from here, you can connect this. So whatever the shade you were creating from the top, right? This you can. So if you see this, I have these kind of images are available on Pinterest and other things. So you can have any of these reference images and try to draw. Okay. So here you can connect these lines here. Okay, and you can try to slightly erase this area also. So all the construction lines are to be erased. So the one which we drew earlier for the symmetry, you can try to erase that also. Okay, Give me a thumbs up once you are done till here. Great, great. Okay, done. So next up, since this is the bottom portion, right? This is the bottom portion of the nose, so it will have the darkest shade. So now I'm going to create a gradient here. So I'm going to go dark on the bottom area, okay, and it will eventually merge with this area. So the turn which is happening here, it will eventually merge with this area, and the other sides of the sphere will again be lit a bit. Okay, so this area is a little bit darker for me. Same way on the other side, you can go little dark on the edges and little light on the insides. Okay, this is one. We can like go on and try to make it more realistic, but I think we'll stop it at this point. So once you're done making nose looking like this, then you can give me a thumbs up. Great. Great. So Rajiv, you are able to shade lightly now? Yeah, I can see. Great. Yes. Nice. Yeah. You can try to go a little dark on the bottom side of it also. Okay. So here. So it will like the more, don't be afraid of darker values. The more darker you go on the shadows, it will pop the whole thing up more nicely. Yeah. Okay, great. So we'll move to the next section now. We will create another nose, this time from a different direction. Okay. So again, we'll begin with the basic construction lines only. So I'll draw it next to it. You'll need only small space because we are doing a small nose. So you can again begin with a circle. You can think it of as the same nose but turn little bit on this side. Okay. So begin with a circle here. I hope it is visible. Okay. And then another circle here. This time little bit downwards. Now, last time we started somewhat here. This time we'll put it little bit downwards. Okay. And a circle in the back of the nose. So this only a small portion of the circle will be visible outside. Rest will be behind the nose. Something like this. So I can just make it a little darker for you to see. There is another circle here, but most of the portion is behind this first circle. Okay. Okay. And then we'll draw a line like this, a curved line like this. Okay, then we are going to shade the boundaries first. So I'm going to create something like this here, like the edge of the nose. And then from here, I'm going to draw the nostrils and draw the curve along the bottom of this sphere, and then draw another nostril here, something like this. Okay, and then draw around it. I'm going to erase the inner circle here. Okay, then very lightly we are going to shade here. So this area, if you see, is behind the top sphere of the nose, right? So this will be darker, and here it will first will go with the lighter shades, and then will eventually go with the darker shades. Okay, so here you can make a light shade. Just leave a small white space here. Okay, so don't make it very dark full sphere, just leave a white space here, and then eventually you can make it a light shade throughout, and then go up. Okay, there's some noise outside, so I'm just muting. Just 1 minute, just see what I'm doing. Okay, so basically I'm just creating the gradients here, and behind the spheres, okay, just I'm going a little bit darker. Same concept as we used here. So behind the spheres, you need to go a little bit darker so that the nostrils pop out a bit. Okay, so here I'm going a little bit darker. And even on this side, since the shadow is falling, I'm going a little bit darker here. Okay. And this time, since the light is turning on this edge, right? So I'm going to make this edge very sharp and dark. Okay, so wherever the light turns on the face, right, that those edges you can make it as dark. Not every edge will be dark. So this one, and then this edge, okay, and maybe the nostrils. Below, if you want, you can try to make it little light also. This side of it, give it more of a 3D effect. But it again depends on, photo to photo and reference to reference. So you need to observe the drawing, and then based on that, take a call on what to make it as dark and what to make it as light. Give me a thumbs up once you are able, you're done till here. Done? Yeah. Can some of you show how it is coming along? Or not done? Okay. Nitya Pradarshini, yeah. Can you show? Prasadini, sorry. Okay. I think, see, I think I went little fast for you. So what you need to do is practice value scales more. Okay. You know what value scale is? No, okay, I'll
Yeah.
tell you. So you go and watch the YouTube channel. In that first video, I have taught about the value scales. Okay. So you need to go very dark, and then from very dark, you need to come to a lighter value. Okay, something like this you need to practice, ma, because once you practice this, then you will know how to run your pencil very dark and then very light. Okay, so this week please practice this. Okay, and then we'll construct the shapes. Anyone else? Liz, how you are doing good? Yeah, yes, looking great. Rajiv ji, yeah, I can see. You can go for more lighter shades and gradients. So for Rajivji, for you, I think the right one, I can see the black and the, so you see this portion,
Yes.
there is a black and a clear white distinction. So those things should not happen. So basically, this should be black and eventually fading into white. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Something like
That
that. So
evenness I am not able to get
yeah,
properly now.
it will come eventually. So again, I think the more we practice this value scales, this one will get you from dark to light, how to get move gradually.
Yes.
Okay.
This
This is a
is
very important practice.
yeah. This is Vedant.
Yeah, Vedant. Good. Looks good. Only thing is, what I can say is on this nostril, on behind the nose. So wherever the curve is turning, right behind that, there will be dark area. So that will what that is what it will make the 3D pop out. Okay. So you can go little darker here, and also little darker on this edge. Otherwise, it's good. Yeah,
Yes.
great. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I think mostly the value scales and the gradients, the more and more you practice them, like more drawings you do, at least spend 10-15 minutes drawing something daily. So this knows it will take hardly 10 minutes. Okay, so if you're free time, you're studying, you can just doodle once to, freshen up your mind, and eventually these things will improve. So these things will improve with time. So even if it's not coming perfectly, it's perfectly fine at this point in time. Don't worry. And first thing, and a very important thing in drawing is not to compare your drawing with anyone else, because each one of us are there in our own journey, and we have our own learning curves. So important thing is to practice daily, and there is nothing called perfect in artwork, right? So whatever you draw is your own expression. Okay, so that is an important thing, and a lot of people, it's an important pitfall also, because a lot of people they think that we are not drawing properly, and then they get frustrated and then stop drawing. But important thing is to draw something daily and improve daily, step by step. Okay, so next up we are going to do lips. So what I'll do is I will send a lot of nose diagrams in our WhatsApp group. So and also the eyes diagrams I have sent already. So please practice like some 5-6 different set of eyes, and some 5-6 different nose, and also some lips during the week. Okay, it will eventually help you once you do start seeing the actual pictures of Swamiji and trying to draw portraits of anyone. It will help you eventually. Okay. So next up, we are going to do lips. So for lips, first thing is draw 2 points. So, or maybe you can draw one line, one horizontal line, something like this, and draw 2 points on the ends of the line. Okay. Next, try to draw a center point. So, you just see these and see like exactly where the center of the line will fall. just draw the center point. Okay, and then draw a vertical line something like this, bisecting this line. So you see all the construction lines have to be drawn very lightly. Okay, then the next step is to draw
Yeah.
some. Yes, yes, yeah.
Govaraya's page keeps popping up as a full screen. Is it because it's muted or unmuted, or because we can't see your page every now and then because
Okay, I think I'll mute her. Can you see my page now? Okay, great. Not sure what happened there. Okay, so next up we are going to draw a circle. This circle you draw a little carefully. Okay, so don't draw it on the edge. Draw it, make it pass this particular line slightly, not too much but slightly. Okay, something like this. I'll rub the insides of the circle. Yeah, draw a circle here. Okay, and next up we are going to draw two ovals. So the ovals will be something like this. They'll cross the line from here. Okay, so they will cross the line from here and then they'll be going little upwards. Okay, so what you can do is just here little bit above you can draw one more line, something like this, so that you have a proper bounding box. So draw a line here. Okay, and then you see this distance and little more distance than this, not exactly the same. You put a point here, little more, slightly more, not too much, too big or too small, just little more, because always the upper lip is smaller and the lower lip is little broader for most of the people. Okay, so average upper lip is smaller, lower lip is broader. So draw another line here. Okay, and then we are going to create a oval. So this oval will be little bit below this line, so I'll call it as line, first line I'll call it as line 1, this one I'll call it as line 2, and this is as line 3. Okay, so the oval should be below line 2 and should be touching line 1, something like this. Create a oval. Okay, and then create the mirror image of this oval on the other side. Even if it is not 100% perfect, it's fine, but the oval should be crossing the line 2 and touching the line 1 and tilting in the other direction, something like this. It need not be 100% same, but at least try to get the thickness similar. Okay.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
is the circle, the center circle, is it meant to be mostly on top of line 2 and it's meant to be only a little bit below line 2? Is that right?
It is meant to be little bit below line 2. And there's a reason for it. I'll explain in a brief.
Okay.
Yeah. So both the ovals and the circle are slightly below the line 2. And note that this circle is not exactly touching line 1 because this is the dip of the lip. So all these things will, eventually form our outer boundary of the lip. So please note that the circle is not touching line 1. It is little bit below line 1. Okay. Then the next step, again draw 2 small ovals, like one oval here and one oval which is a mirror image of it on the other side. Yeah. See, whenever you're trying to draw the lip, it's not necessary you approach it this way only. For example, I can just directly, begin and try to start drawing a lip, something like this, and try to still make it symmetrical and properly shaded. But it's always good to practice your first few diagrams with construction lines. It will make it more accurate, and you will understand where the different bulges and shadows are there in the any anatomy. So all these are anatomical drawings, and it's good to do it with the construction line. Okay, it will improve your understanding about light and shade and shapes. Okay, next up, touching this oval and going a little bit out, you can, and touching this line, touching our center line, you can create another oval, but it should not be touching the line 3. It should be slightly above line 3. Okay, something like this. Create an oval here and a mirror image of it on the other side. Let me know once you're done till here. Nithyananda Gita, I can see you. Yeah. Great. Okay, so we'll move. Just give me a thumbs up, or if you want me to wait, you can give me a thumbs down. Okay, great. Okay, there's something in the chat. Done. Okay, great. Okay, so next up, we have drawn a point, right? The point is little bit far for me. For you, it may be here or little bit too far. Just try to have it little bit near the first circle. Okay, so I mean, don't keep it too far. If it is like somewhat this much distance, it's okay. Point is okay. Okay, then we'll draw a curve touching the bottom of this, then touching this. Okay, just watch it and then you can draw it later. So you touch this, and then here we are going to touch the bottom of the circle, and then go from here. Then it will again touch this and touch this over and touch the points. Okay, this is the center line of the lip. Okay, so you can draw this one. Next up, from the same point, draw another curve which is touching this and moving, coming down like this. And same on the other side. So you can give a curve like this. Okay, I am drawing dark, but you can choose to draw light. I'm drawing dark so that it is visible. Okay, and next, same way here, you can draw a curve which is starting from this point and it is passing through this point and touching it here. And same on the other side. Okay. Great. So next, what we are going to do is we are going to just shade around this spheres. So each of this you can assume as one spheres, which are like, these are some muscles of the lips which are there. So you can assume that them as one sphere, and the lips you need to shade in this direction. Okay. So the lip shading has to be like this, something like this. So you go across around the spheres and make curved strokes. Okay, so what I'm doing is, maybe I'll try to show dark. I'm making strokes like this to move around the curve. Okay, so say there is a, you can assume there is a oval here. So I'm making strokes like this and not shading, not blending it. Okay, so around this curve, you can make strokes like this. And outside the spheres, you can like create again circular, semicircular strokes, but you can fill the space. Okay, try to leave some white spaces in between. So what happens is, wherever any muscle is bulging, right, there are some light spaces there. So you can try to leave some white spaces here. Need not be all black. I think this one is looking a little dark. Okay. Okay. And then we are going to go similarly around these spheres. If you want, you can like now even drop the idea that there are spheres here, or you can, if you want, you can move around it in whichever way is comfortable to you. But idea is to generally, the upper lip is little bit upwards, so we need to go a little bit upwards from this direction. Okay, something like this, and then curve along this direction. I hope I am able to explain. So here it should be something like this. The strokes on this side should be something like this. The stroke on other side should be something like this. Okay, and it should curve along the lip because the lip is moving up. Okay, and from top it should come down. From top it should be reverse, something like this. Okay, and once you go around this sphere, it should go something like this. Now what I'll do is I will just fill up the spaces here on both top and bottom. Like I'll again move in same strokes. But what happens is since this is where the lips are touching each other, so they will cast a shadow, okay, on the upper muscles and the lower muscles. So here you will have little darker values. So I'll go little darker here on this portion of lips. And I'll leave some little bit light here for light to fall off, and same I'll go little dark on top also. Okay, so there's again no one way of doing things. Each photo reference will be different, so we need to see where light and shades are falling for that particular photo and then draw accordingly. But mostly like the basics are the edges of the lips will be the darkest because that's where the troughs are there. Okay, so this edges will be darkest. Eventually we'll have something like this. Okay, you can draw around, like create light shades around this. Again, above the lip, and especially when you draw Swamiji, there is a very clear line. I have like, whenever I have done portraits of Swamiji, there is a clear white line here. So there's light falls here because there is this mustache area which comes. So you have a white line and then you will have shade here, something like, not exactly white, but it's like much lighter area than the rest of the adjacent areas. And then here we have a trough here also. Okay. I think we have 1 more minute. So I will wait for everyone to finish and then we can do the Puna Mantra. What I'll do is I will send some more pictures of eyes, nose, lips, and from different direction. I'll try to send some Swamiji's reference sketches also if possible. And also, I can send a step-by-step diagram of the ear. So if you want to try that out this week, you can try it out. Just spend 10 to 15 minutes daily for this week at least till next class, so that you improve on these things. Okay, any questions? Anyone?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yeah.
With shading, maybe if you could go a bit slower, like some places need to go a bit slower from my perspective, like the nose,
Yes.
bit, like with the screen, maybe it's a screen, but once you've done it, we can't see what you've done. Like just need to see the strokes. Lip was easier, the nose
Sure.
was a bit more.
Sure, I'll do that. So for
Yeah.
nose, again, just to reiterate, there is nothing, too different. So we just did the circles. Okay, so we did 3 circles, and wherever the circles are curving, those areas are dark, rest areas are light. So that's a pretty simple thing. But what I will do is, I will also give a step-by-step image. Okay, so there is a image available now online. So I'll share that in our WhatsApp.
I think the shading, as you're saying, is an issue because as you can see, the grading is. Do we use the same pencil, right, to grade?
Yeah, I mean, see, I can do the gradings with 2B pencil also, but what I can see is right now for you, it's coming little bit like linear kind of a thing. Okay, so sorry, I think we have passed our time. We will extend for 2-3 more minutes so that I can answer the questions, and then we'll end the session. So if I'm just completing with everyone. Okay, so here I think your strokes are coming little bit linear, if you can see. Okay, something like this. But
Linear, or as in not grading like
not
to light.
grading, yeah, and that is perfectly fine, because once you start shading, it will take some time before your handling of the pencil will improve. Okay, so if you draw daily, eventually it will become more of a flattened tones, and you will be able to vary the tones easily, because then you will be able to put know when to put more pressure and when to put less pressure. Okay, but I think the practicing of value scales and the boxes and shading the sphere, these 2-3 basic exercise which we did in first class, it will help. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Yes, Rajiv ji, I can see the center line can be more darker. Okay, center line for the lip can be more darker. Rest I feel is fine. Yeah, I think the shape and other things are good. It will improve eventually. The center line can be more dark. That's the only thing I can say. And the areas around the center line, this can be dark, because the darkness will give it a tendency to curve.
Yes, yes.
It will make it look like it's curving.
It's
Yeah.
the first step. And
Yeah.
this is Vedant. Yes.
Great. Yes. For Ganeshwaraya, the lower lip, it is generally broader. So for you, I mean, for very few people, the upper lip is bigger than the lower lip. So what we did was, we did the line 1, which was nearer to line 2, and line 3 was little far. So this distance between line 1 and 2 is lesser than the distance between line 2 and 3. So yeah, slightly more. Great. Okay, so I think every one of you is in the WhatsApp group. If you want to be added, please give your number. I do not see Adeshir Irani and Kirtan Sharma. Adeshir Irani and Kirtan Sharma, I did not see you. We'll take a picture. If you can switch on the camera, we'll take a quick picture and close the session. If everyone can switch on the camera, please. Magover, Adeshir, and Kirtan. Yeah, great. Kirtan, Adeshir, are you able to switch on the camera? No. Liz, can you come in the camera, please? Okay. Great. Okay, Kirtan, great. I can see everyone. Okay, perfect. Liz, can you come to the camera? We want to take a quick picture. Okay, I think she's gone somewhere. Okay, no issues. We'll just click a picture. Okay, we'll say Swamiji. Once more, Swamiji. Great, thank you. So we'll end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Shri Sadguru Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam.
Bye-bye.
Nithyanandam, everyone. See you next week.
Nityanandam. Bye-bye.
Nithyanandam, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nithyanandam.
Thank you, Nityananda Maya.
Nama.
Thanks, yeah.
Nice to see you, Nithyanandam. Great.